Hello and welcome to Affinity. I was asked recently about frequency separation and whether you can have multiple layers within it. And the answer is yes. I had to tinker around with this. So here are some of the things that I found. So first of all, frequency separation, what is it? It's if you go to the filters here and frequency separation, and it's dead easy. Affinity Photo does a lot for you on this. And very simply, you turn the radius here up. If you turn it up, as you turn it up, you can see the right hand side gets blurred and the left hand side gets more detail into it. And this is a clue. The thing about frequency is it's not about frequency. A bunch of nonsense is talked about it because it's the name given to it, but don't worry about it. What it really is a detail filter. It sort of slices off detail, and we're going to slice multiple layers of detail and treat them separately. So first of all, we're going to start off with the fine detail, and what you typically want to do is sharpen the eye a bit. So let's go into the eye, and I'm going to bring the radius down here until, as you turn it up, it's just kind of appearing here, and we're just getting here. What we want to get it to is there's the eye there, but not much detail further down. So round about there looks about right, and you also want to keep grey on here because the grey makes life a lot easier as we go along. So apply that there, and now see the two layers now called high frequency and low frequency. We're just going to rename the top one to fine detail, and we can then take a sharpening of some sort. Let's go to see the end sharp mask, and we'll turn up the radius a bit. Typically I start around sort of 1ish and then just turn up the factor to see where it is, and this makes the eye gradually sharper. So the question here is, has it sharpened anything else? Because we've sort of separated out here. So let's look at this before and after. See, there's not much sharpening elsewhere, but it has sharpened the eye because with the fine detail of it. If you want to, you can mask this to make sure of this. So you can go to here and go to the mask, hit Control I to invert it so it goes black. Then get a paintbrush, make sure the paintbrush is white, make it soft, and maybe sort of half opacity there, and effectively paint the sharpness back into the areas where you want that sharpness definitely to be. But you don't have to when you've got the fine detail selected and it's not really affecting any other areas of the face. Now then, here's the real trick of multiple layers with frequency separation, and it's so simple. Is you select the low frequency layer and you just do it again. So if I go to filters and frequency separation, now what I want to do is I'm going to go to the texture here. So if I go into this, and if I turn up off the top layer, so I'm just dealing with this layer here, the low frequency layer, and I can still see texture in here, and I want to be able to select that. So I turn up the radius until that's just about disappearing. And if I bring this across here, you see it's appeared on this side, which means I can treat that level of texture in one layer. So I apply that, and let's call that one skin texture. And now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to treat this separately. And if I alt click on this, you can see here I've got here that it's mostly grey. And the reason for this, and the blend mode is linear light, is because grey is transparent when you use the contrast blend mode, which includes linear light. So it's almost like you could actually use the erase brush on this, but I'm going to use grey, and I'm going to do it in a way that means I can go back and undo what I've done, which is that I go to here, I add an extra pixel layer here, and shift click to get both of them, Control G to form a group. I need to rename that one again, skin texture, and open that up. Now then, if I paint grey on here, it's going to be above here, so it's effectively going to replace it. I make sure, by the way, the skin texture here, I need the blend mode here to be the linear light. So now when I get a paintbrush, if I want to select grey, quick way is to go to swatches and that little one there will take a perfect mid-grey, which is what I want. And now when I paint over here on the pixel layer, it is going to reduce it. So if I turn the opacity full up, you can see here the effect. See the way that this hits this. I'll take it down to around about halfway a bit. But now I can paint on here and I'm reducing that texture. You can see that effect. However, if I want to adjust that now, if I go to the opacity for that layer, I can now adjust that again. So I've now got a completely adjustable layer for this. So I can just paint the other areas on this and leave the areas I want to keep smoother, and you can see it had that effect. And I can play with the opacity to the amount of realism. I want to keep some texture there because skin is not completely smooth. So Control 0 to get back out again. So there we go. Now then, what else can we do with this? Well, up here there's a bit more, there's sort of like bigger bumps up there. So maybe we'll need another layer to slice that one off. So I go to the bottom one, go to Filters and Frequency Separation. Look up here to that there and just increase the radius until that disappears. And then I hit apply. And I got the high and low frequency again. So now I'll say, what shall I call that? Soft texture. So now I can paint there. I can just paint directly on this. I could do that layering, which I did there with the skin texture. But no, I'll just go to the brush just to show how you can do it. And it's got grey selected. And now I can paint on here. And I can just take away those areas which are on this layer. So there we go. That amount of detail is easily done. What I can do as well is to say I've got this kind of spot here, and if I alt click on the layers you can see where it is. So I go, oopsie-daisy, go into that there. So there I can see that, but if I alt click the layer, see that layer there, there's a little bit on there, so maybe I'll just paint a bit of grey onto that. Get the paintbrush tool and paint that away. Go to alt click this layer. Just look at the detail on that. So I got this pixel layer on that. So if I can paint on here, see the way that takes that away, and go to the layer above. Alt click on that one. Is any fine detail there? Very little. I can just take a little bit on that. But you can see the way that we're taking it. Sometimes you have to go to multiple layers to make that happen. And the bottom layer there, even alt click on that. There's a little bit of colour on that. So maybe I can use the in-painting brush on that just to tweak the colour back so it's completely lost. So now it's when you come back out again, that's much better. Okay, let's take off these top layers again. What else can I do here? They say there's a fair amount of shine on here. So let's do another layer and take off the shine. So I'm going to go to Filters, Frequency Separation, and I can turn up the radius until the shine goes. You see the shine going on the nose there? So that means that if I look on this side, the shine has now appeared, so I can treat that there. So I apply that. I call that one shine. And I can turn on the other layers as well so I can see the whole thing. But I want to paint on the shine layer. I'll do that in grey as well because it's still grey there. And effectively it's like erasing it. So I'm going to turn the opacity right up on this. So I just paint down there. You can see that has reduced that a lot. It hasn't got rid of it altogether, maybe because there's a bit on some of these other layers. Alt click on that, see there's a bit there. So I'll just click on that and paint on that there, so when I come back again, there you go, I've got rid of that shine. So you can do all kinds of things with this as well. So even on the bottom layer there, let's do a dodge and burn, say. So I'll go to put in some curves on that, pull that down to darken a bit, change the blend mode to multiply and call that one burn. Then put another one in here and pull the curves up a bit for lightning and call that one dodge. Now I'm going to take these, don't need that anymore for now, and Control I to invert it, Control I to invert that, so we're back to this. But now I just paint in white on this, so I get the paintbrush here. I want white, let's go back to white there, that's fine. For this opacity is usually really, really low, so 10% or less typically. Now I'm going to paint on these layers here, so I paint on the burn layer, it's going to darken it. So I can just get a bit of that darkening back. So I can paint where I want to find some darkening. I'm dodging, paint the same white on the dodge layer. And I can bring some dodge, so just lightening it back in here. See, just a little bit of time. So that's typically what you're going to do there. So anyway, there we go. That shows the effect that you can have and the way that you can use a stacked approach to get a really subtle and powerful way of changing a picture. So if I literally go to the history here and just wind back, there's the original and there's the adjusted. It still looks perfectly natural because I took a very controlled and steady approach by slicing off the detail and addressing each level of detail at the same time. That's it, and thank you very much for watching.